Hello there, Crafty Doer. Jessica Michaels here. Welcome to the Crafty Doings Mixed Media Paper Crafts. Welcome if you are new. This video is for the That's All Folks School Theme YouTube Hop hosted by Sarah Scraps. So grab a comfy chair, grab all your crafty things, and let's get into the crafty doings. For this paper project, I am finally diving into this pack of paper from the Paper Tabby shop on Etsy. One of my scrappy gal pals turned me on to this vintage paper shop. And here I am showing you the goodies that are in this paper pack. It is school days themed. So there's a trim, there's stationery, cards, tags. This paper is beautiful. It's wallpaper. There is this vintage high school report card that is just giving me butterflies in my tummy. I kid you not. I'm super into these vintage papers and ephemeras, and I've gotten a handful of them. This is the first one I'm actually creating with because I'm having a hard time like just using them. It really makes my heart happy. I get like tingles in my stomach and my hair stands up, and the smell of it, call me crazy, but it is genuine like vintage paper, and I am all here for it. The shop added this freebie, and I'm so excited to just create. So this was perfect for this hop. Obviously, this is a school days paper pack, and I knew I wanted to use this when I was shopping around for it to scrapbook my girls' first day of school last year. I happen to have this recollection gorgeous bright blue, purple blue in my stash, and so I'm going to use this as my base. If you don't know, I scrapbook 8x8. I like to share that with you because a lot of the ephemera and alphas and so on and so forth look a lot bigger than they would if you scrapbook 12x12. So I'm going to go for this grid sheet, and I'm going to use this as the background layer for my scrapbook. And I was overthinking it a little bit right here where I was trying to see if I wanted to trim the top and the bottom so that the hole punch holes could kind of center, if that makes any sense. But then I thought, you know what am I doing? I'm overthinking it. I just want to sit, I want to relax, I want to play with my new vintage paper, and I want to just enjoy this hop with you. So I just trimmed it at the end, and two of the hole punches ended up being visible anyway. So I'm going to go through my paper. My photos have actually this off green and then some really bright red in it, which is the polo that my little is wearing. So that is going to be my accent color. So the idea that just came to mind was this, with this beautiful ephemera, is I just wanted to look like it's kind of just laying on my desk on my paper, and layers on top of layers of this gorgeous vintage paper. So that is what I'm going to do. And this beautiful paper that says a note from the teacher is a perfect base to start off because it's mostly white. I 100% want to use this report card. It has like these little creases in it. It's real writing on there. I'm sure that is someone's real name, and I am just screaming on the inside. This pack also came with this alphabet trim that is super cute. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to go ahead and trim my photos, and then I'm going to run the photo through my sewing machine. Well, not just the photo, but I'm going to back it with the multicolor alphabet pattern fabric and add some fun stitching for some added texture. I would love for you to share in the comments if you are a vintage ephemera paper junkie. I am not a junkie yet, but I can admit that I seriously am starting to develop this very weird, like emotional attachment to these papers. I ran my photos through it, and you can see the cool fun stitching there at the edges of the photos. So now I'm just going to play with placement and see how I want it to look. So I didn't talk about how I ended up trimming that white paper in the back so that it looks again like it's just laying on my desk there. So I know I want to play with red accents, and this paper pack came with this little circle piece and a red apple. So I thought that was kind of cool to angle it here with the apple at the top left hand corner. So I'm just going through the ephemera and seeing if I can find more red accents, and then I'm going to just kind of tuck them in there. I haven't adhered anything, and I usually work this way, and when I am ready to commit, then I add little mini X's of glue behind all of my papers. And for the most part, it does stay exactly the same as I have laid it out. So you'll be able to see that later on in the video shortly here. So now it's time to pick the alphas for my title, and I'm going back and forth between these two. They're both from Vicky Booten, and I think I want to go with this one because this other one is a little too bland. And I was thinking I have enough alphas to use mostly black letters. And I know that I have another pack of these in my drawer somewhere. So if I have to, I will go to that. So I had quite a bit of fun coming up with a title for this one. I really wanted like just like an homage to the vintage ephemera. And I was actually going back and forth between Scholastic Stories, and what was the other one? Scholastic Stories and Timeless, I don't know, it was like Timeless School Days or Timeless something or other. And I don't know, I landed on Scholastic Days because it reminds me of the Scholastic books and stuff I remember ordering from those when I was little. You got like the little catalog and you got to take it home and you circle which ones you wanted, and it was like a whole book fair thing. Now it's all online. I think they still do it in person, but you know how it is nowadays. Gotta love them internets. So I went with the Scholastic Stories, and it also just kind of flows off the tongue a little bit. And I like doing titles that kind of have a rhyme or reason or some kind of, just rolls off your tongue like butter. Sometimes not like butter. It's more like a riddle, like a riddle or something like that. So I did end up having to pull my other set of alphas, and I am so happy that I had twice of those. I had two of those for this reason, and that's actually a good tip, is to buy multiples of the same alphas. I wanted to also keep the old school theme going, so I'm using my date stamp to add the stamp here, and I'm going to stamp it multiple times, multiple generations, just to add a little bit more of that black. I am so much in love. I am absolutely just floored, and I am a mixed media paper crafter, and I think that this paper crafter, although it doesn't have mediums on it, did I say this paper crafter? What I meant to say is, although this project doesn't have mediums on it, I consider it a mixed media project because you're mixing the stitching, then you have all this different types of textures of ephemera. There's fabric in there. I added the little paper clip that held my little pack of freebies. And that to me is, I consider that a mixed media. So now that I am happy with what I see, I'm gonna go in with the new 49 and Market Archivers glue. I love the stuff. It dries almost instantly, and it's a perfect for this situation right here where I don't want anything to move and I want it to dry quickly so I can keep adhering everything else around it. So yes, that is one of my new favorite glues for, again, situations like this one. So I do want to share a little bit more about my newfound obsession with vintage paper. I shared that this is from an Etsy shop, the Paper Tabby shop. I also have been purchasing from a House of Books. I know that a cherry on top carries them, and that is honestly where I found them. I'm going to add some staples here just for some more added texture, and also because I have that paper clip on the top, so it feels a little top heavy. So I'm going to add it down here and then also on the top left. But anyway, so a House of Books, and I bought a vintage catalog to art journal with, and I can't do it. I just cannot break into it, and I get like the tingles, and I don't know if what I'm going to do with it yet. I mean, I bought it for that purpose, but it's just I don't know, it's so beautiful. But anywho, I'm gonna go ahead and trim the paper that is hanging over, and a few of the alphas fell off while I was doing that. But here is the final look to this layout. I truly do hope that you were inspired today to reach for your mixed media and create on your paper crafts. Don't forget to hop along and hang out with the rest of the creators on this hop. Thanks so much for watching. Until the next crafty doings.